What's up, everyone? This is the Next Tape Podcast, episode 135 with Mikel and
Tanyka.
where we have conversations on different topics. So today we're going to be talking about a few things on today's episode. What are we going to be talking about, Tanika?
So today we are going to be talking about people today in this day and age are actually trying to or are actively avoiding Toronto. I
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately don't get to do that, but yeah, that's apparently what people are doing.
Uh-huh.
Um, Another one is California governor plans to file a lawsuit against President Trump.
Mm.
And a paralegal is jailed for stealing. So that is our topics for
Okay.
this episode.
Okay. All right.
All right. So our first topic. So a new poll has revealed that just how deep the frustration with Toronto's traffic has become. Fair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no longer just about longer commutes.
All right.
So out of 2,963 respondents to this poll,
Mm-hmm.
an overwhelming 91.3% said they actively avoid going to downtown Toronto because of the
Mm-hmm.
traffic. Only 8.7% said they still make the trip despite the congestion. Probably those 8.7% don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, um, this isn't just a sign of inconvenience. It reflects a major shift in behavior with potentially serious consequences for Toronto's economy and cultural life. Um, which again, anyone who kind of frequents downtown, whether it's for work or school or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, in the last, I don't freaking know, last decade, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, there has been talks of how to improve on the congestion with traffic, whether it's the actual like downtown traffic or if it's the Gardner or if it's the DVP. There has been talks about what you can do to fix that congestion. Nothing's really been done, or at least nothing is being done
Uh-huh.
that has made any kind of change. The most that we've seen them do is knock down part of the Gardner,
Uh-huh.
but repair it back. That's it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what else that they've been doing except just add more to the congestion with constant construction. For example, shutting down all of Queen Street for God knows how long. Like, that doesn't help with the congestion downtown.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, traffic has always been part of the Toronto experience, but this result shows that gridlock has moved beyond being a daily annoyance. It is now a deciding factor in where people go, how they spend, and how they engage with the city. For many, traffic is no longer something to work around. It is something to avoid altogether. Whether
Uh-huh.
the trip is for shopping, work, dining, or events, the majority of voters now feel that the hassle outweighs the benefit.
Uh-huh.
So, why this kind of matters? Downtown Toronto depends on people showing up. Office workers, tourists, and locals out for dinner or a concert help drive the economy, 100%. They support restaurants, small businesses, theaters, sports venues, and festivals. If people start staying home or choosing suburban alternatives, the economic impact will be felt quickly and widely. Lower foot traffic means fewer sales, fewer jobs, and a slower
Right.
recovery for businesses already strained by rising costs and changing habits.
Hmm.
Restaurants are still grappling with higher overhead and staffing challenges.
Uh-huh.
Retailers continue to see inconsistent foot traffic post-pandemic. Um, I mean, I'm noticing that again. Like, I'm not frequenting stores as often, not
Uh-huh.
because I'm necessarily doing a lot of online shopping. It's more about like Do I really need to buy a piece of clothing? Can I even afford that right now? It's more about like I have more pressing things to worry about than shopping. So in my stance, it's not even so much, you know, physical shopping or online shopping. But for most, it is, I'd rather just do online shopping. So at least for me, as a person who frequents certain parts of downtown, I have noticed stores that have been around for years and years and years pre-pandemic have either shut down or were closed for a certain amount of time because of COVID, but this never recovered. Like
Right.
just recently, a restaurant that I frequented that I still was going to is actually owned by Mark McEwen. And again, if you're in the like downtown TD core, like the McEwen corner, one of the restaurants that he had just recently shut down. And it
Mm,
opened, I would say, about a year before the pandemic. And I wonder if it's just like some people just couldn't, like, weren't going there, obviously, because of COVID. No one's
mhm,
around.
mhm,
And then the other part of it is the pricing. The food was expensive. So there's like a multitude of different things that are causing these stores, these restaurants to shut down. Um, so I imagine, yeah, just the hassle of commuting, whether it's, I mean, I don't know why anyone would drive into downtown Toronto, but they're not just talking about that type of traffic. They're also talking foot traffic. And again, just the travel into downtown, at least for Lakeshore East people,
mhm.
um, who are on the more east side of things, like Durham region. It's annoying to travel into downtown. I have no choice. But maybe there's
Yeah.
someone who does have a choice, who's maybe
uh,
frustrated by
uh,
commuting is stupid.
a lot of
Oh,
a lot of traffic, rush hour, going through that every single day, and
it would be
so,
exhausting.
yeah.
I mean, like I said, we do not drive into downtown. It's the most stupidest thing you could ever do, in my honest opinion,
Mhm,
between wasting gas and then being stuck in traffic for God knows how long. And, paying for parking down there, like, it's not even worth it. It is ultimately cheaper to take the train, but, um, it's still a hassle even doing that. Like, it's a different type of hassle. It's mentally exhausting, as well as I'm sure driving is mentally exhausting. And, I mean, the DVP, I don't know whose jurisdiction that is, and I don't know what they could do to fix that.
mm,
As my grandfather says, it was a poorly designed highway, um, that just wasn't constructed for getting rid of traffic. Because anytime you drive the DVP, you're getting stuck in traffic. Even when like me and my mom had to drive with my grandpa to take her to the hospital, take her to St. Mike's, over a month ago, we hit traffic. As soon as we hit the DVP, instantly we hit traffic. And I'm just like, ugh, like I don't
yeah.
understand. And at that point, it's like 9:30 at night. It's not like
Mhm,
work traffic. It's just
right.
people going downtown because they're gonna go party or whatever. And I think it was a long weekend, if I remember correctly. I cannot remember.
Mhm,
But I'm just like, this is freaking ridiculous. No, that's just the design of DVP. But anyways, um, okay, so I said restaurants doing okay. Large events and festivals might still draw interest depending on whatever the festival is or the
uh-huh,
concert. Um, but many now come with complaints about how hard it is to get there and back. When 9 out of 10 people say they are avoiding downtown, it signals a potential drop in spontaneous outings, fewer weekend plans, and reduced interest in everything the urban core has to offer, which is, I mean, I get. I can't tell you the last time we've done a weekend outing. in downtown Toronto
Uh-huh.
because it's just like it's not worth it to us anymore to go down there. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I said, it's busy. It's a lot of, well, I mean, I wouldn't say like, a lot of noise. Like you can look at New York. New York has similar situation. Like it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so like it's crazy
Mhm.
depending on,
But I just wonder like I don't know what their traffic is like going into the city.
oh,
I'm curious, like, if their system, not even just driving into the city, but even a subway system to the city or like a train into the city, what, like, if they have it better than, like, if they figured it out better than we have.
mm,
That's more like what I'm curious about.
mhm,
Um, because again, like, I think, like we talked about it, New York on a whole is suffering when it comes to tourists coming into the city, to the state generally, and that has to do with more with the tariffs. So that doesn't have to do with people just refusing of going into the city. I wonder if it wasn't for that, would people be saying, I just don't want to go into the city because of the commute in? I
uh-huh,
don't think a lot of people say they don't want to go into the city. Like, whether you're a tourist or you're a
mhm.
regular or you work down there or whatever. I'm sure if you work down there, it's kind of how I feel about Toronto. It's like I love the city. It's I'm proud to say that I'm 45 minutes away from Toronto. I'm proud of that, but it's
Well,
so taxing.
well, so according to like this AI overview here,
Okay,
there is no single worst location for traffic worldwide,
the
as
New York.
ranking varies by report and
Uh-huh.
methodologically by major cities like New York City,
Hmm.
London, Paris,
Hmm.
and uh, Istanbul.
Istanbul.
Istanbul and Chicago. So yeah,
Well,
it's consistently ranked among the most congested cities, with others such as Lama, uh,
Lima?
Jax. Is it Lima or is it
Is it
Lama?
Lima? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, Lima.
Lima.
Yeah, okay. Jack. Is it J? It's J A. I was gonna say that.
Okay.
Uh, Mexico City, and also appearing on a list
I
of
have heard that
cities.
Mexico City's traffic
Yeah,
is into the city is
yeah,
horrific. And I've actually seen that like on 90 Day Fiance, where it
uh,
was just like back to back traffic. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's not surprising.
yeah. So, and the one I was trying to pronounce is Jakarta, I think.
Uh,
Jakarta,
Jakarta? I think it's
Jakarta, yeah,
Jakarta. Yeah, that's what you're
Jakarta,
saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Also appearing on a list of cities with most hours lost to traffic. So yeah,
I mean,
basically,
I don't think there's not a lot that you can avoid when it comes to congestion into the city. It's a city.
mm,
There is going to be congestion going into the city. Um,
they also mentioned Toronto. So,
yeah. There is going to be congestion going into the city.
mhm,
I think the biggest issue, um, or more should I say, the issue alongside vehicles going in
mhm,
is the commuting in via public transit
right,
and having the foot traffic there as well. So it's not just targeting people driving into the city, it's also targeting people using public transit to go in and
mhm,
the frustration of that. So I'm looking at it as a whole. I think this poll is looking at it as a whole as well,
mhm,
that it's everything.
yeah,
That's kind of the issue. Yes, vehicles coming into the city is horrific. It's always going to be that way.
mm,
Unfortunately, there's not much that can be done to change that because of how the highways were structured decades and decades ago. So there's not much that can be really be done with that at this point. And obviously, there's really only one major way into the city by via car. There's really no other way.
Mm.
So when you have only one way into the city to the downtown Toronto, um, yeah, there's not much you can do about that. So I think it's all of it on the whole. Um, I think people are still a little frustrated with Toronto, with the commuting into Toronto, I should say. And yeah, I don't know. But let's finish this article. So,
Uh-huh.
um, in recent months, the city has made some small efforts to address the issue. Police officers have been stationed at key intersections to direct traffic. Yep, yes, they have seen that. And signal timing has been adjusted in some areas.
Uh-huh.
I've actually noticed that too. I've noticed that too. But these are short-term fixes at best. They are band-aid solutions on a much larger problem. What is needed is coordinated action across all levels of government. Toronto's traffic crisis will not be solved without serious investment in
Mhm.
long-term infrastructure. That means building new transit lines,
Uh-huh.
expanding road capacity where feasible, and accelerating major projects that have been stalled or delayed for years. Uh-huh. And maybe doing those finishing those projects before starting other ones and causing the city to be more congested. Just a
Mhm.
thought. Um, even in the best case scenario where governments align on a strategy, have unlimited funding, and begin construction immediately, it would still take a decade or more to see the full results. And right now, none of those conditions exist.
Mhm.
Mhm. Without bold, unified action and a clear roadmap for the future, the gridlock will only deepen, and so will the public's frustration. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's basically that
Mhm.
for that one. But
Mhm.
yeah,
So you know Crown Royal, right?
who?
Uh Crown Royal, the
Crown Royal,
alcohol
like the
drink.
alcohol?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So they're shut down their plant in Ontario
I
and
think I heard that, yeah.
they're moving operations to the United States.
Oh, that's lovely. Okay, well,
So I'm guessing you already seen that the clip where, Doug Ford did like a presser.
is what?
Doug Ford did a press conference
Oh,
or
no, I
he
didn't.
answered a question or something. Not sure what the whole tire presser was all about. I think it was all about like, well, I see uh in his front of his podium, Protect Ontario. I'm wondering if he was just talking about like Ontario in general.
Mhm.
But during that presser, he was dumping a bottle of Crown Royal just to tell Crown Royal that, basically a way of saying F you.
Mhm.
Because you're moving to the States, you're close to plant, you moving to the States. And a lot of people looked at it like that was unprofessional.
Yeah, I do. I
A lot
agree.
of, yeah, a
I
lot of
agree. That's a
ways
little unprofessional.
because you could have just like, have had a meeting with the company and just like,
But
just
what
spoke
sense
it
would
out.
that have made, though? They've clearly made a decision. They're
Hmm.
once they've made a decision,
Hmm.
which is probably made, you know,
Hmm.
months ago, and maybe potentially had nothing to do with what's been going on within the tariff wars, but um, they've already made their choices. They're not going to go back on that with a discussion. They're gonna full steam ahead. So w- Doug Ford doing what he did at the press
Hmm.
conference by pouring out a Crown Royal, which no one wastes alcohol. What is wrong with you? Anyways, um, like it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
It is unnecessary. It feels like you're having a temper tantrum like you're two. It's is it unfortunate? Sure. For the Canadian economy, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, what are you going to do to change it?
Mm.
So
Oh yeah. I think the professional way is just
let it go.
hear the I know, like, but hear the owner out, talk to the owner. If they said they're already, well, like, pull the strings, I'm moving away, the best that you can do. But that's the best you can do. Just talk to them behind the scenes on why they did it, why they're doing it. Sorry.
I imagine
Uh,
getting Crown Royal into the liquor stores or
uh,
whatever is going to be difficult once they have completed that transition and getting it back into Canada. I imagine it's going to be difficult because we are already seeing alcohol brands have a difficult time getting the product into Canadian stores.
right.
So I imagine Crown Royal is going to be in the same boat. And I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There was a better way of handling that situation. I agree with
Absolutely.
you. So,
Absolutely.
but you know,
And you're just
yeah,
burning a bridge at that point.
bas- yeah,
Yeah.
basically, Doug for being I feel like
Two-year-old.
that was, huh?
A 2-year-old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It feels like somebody who basically, one of those like, sports fans that just like saw their favorite player got traded to
Yeah.
another team, or
It's like, who
was
cares?
leaving to another team, and then they just
Yeah.
burned their jersey, and
I
then
just don't understand why people get like it's
similar to
okay
that.
to like something and be
Uh-huh.
invested in it. But when you're
Mhm,
getting invested in it to the point where you are literally having temper tantrums
mhm,
over your favorite player being, drafted into another team or
yeah,
like if your team loses or like whatever,
mm,
it's so stupid to me. And like, I'm sorry, but like if your life literally revolves around all of that,
mhm,
like you need a hobby. You need to touch grass.
mhm.
You need to smell the roses. I don't know, but like this is I will never get it. I will never get it. Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
do I like watching reality TV? Absolutely. Does my life necessarily revolve around it?
yeah.
No, but at the same time, I do have a podcast where I talk about these things.
Mhm, mhm.
But at the same time, like for example, Love is Blind UK was on. The entire season is over.
Yeah.
I just started watching it. I just started watching it. I'm on the second episode. So it's like, yeah, I invest in that. But when I have
Mhm,
other things in my life going on that is more important,
mhm,
that takes precedent over
mhm.
watching the reality shows. Just like if you have something that's a little bit more pressing in life, that should
Yeah,
maybe take
yeah, yeah.
precedent over watching sports.
I mean, I'm a sports fan basically,
But
and
does
I
it
know, like,
like
I know
consume
this.
you?
Yeah, I know not to do, not to have outrages and not to
Yeah.
like burn things and all that stuff. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna do something like this, etc. Like, it is what it
I mean,
is. My
black
team
people are different
lost.
too.
My favorite player got traded. It is what it is. I moved
Yeah,
on.
like it
He moved
is.
on. It is what it is. But something a little bit off topic towards like this, like sports fans. I seen a clip on TikTok how sports fans love to hate Disney adults. Stop it,
Why? What does
please,
that matter? Who cares? They like what
please.
they like. You like what
Yeah,
you like.
exactly.
Why are the
So
two even meshing?
yeah, like it's you're both in this and it,
You both have a fascination,
yeah. And what you
maybe
like, it's
borderline
okay.
obsession.
Yeah, it's okay.
You
It's
guys have
okay.
something in common.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, hey,
okay.
I like Disney.
Yeah.
I would not consider myself a Disney adult.
Mhm.
I don't particularly get that.
I mean,
Like,
if you go to a theme park, where you feel like you're in a But do you feel like you're escaping reality when you go
but
on a
it's
theme
not
park,
just
like?
about the theme park for Disney
Mhm,
adults.
mhm.
It's not just about that. It's all of it on the
Well,
whole.
yeah, whole. I
movies, the
mean, like
theme park,
Disney, the
the culture, all
movies,
that.
the yeah, yeah, the
Yeah,
whole
so it's not just
the
about
whole
the theme
shebang.
park.
I'm talking about yeah, yeah. I'm just talking about that included that into that. Like it's.
I mean, I think that's a normal feeling to have, but just because someone's attending a theme park does not make them a Disney adult,
Mhm,
you know? So there's a difference between that. Like there's literally people like there's like literally a dating app right now that I don't know who created it, but it's for Disney adults.
mhm, mhm.
And it's like, okay, that that that's a stretch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I wouldn't have like these are the type of people who have Disney themed parties or Disney themed weddings or whatever. And it's like, that's a stretch too far for me.
You think
That part
so?
I don't get. Yes,
You
absolutely.
think? I
Absolutely.
I think that's fine because if it's like
Uh,
agreeable with the two couples, it's okay.
uh,
I seen like Star Wars themed weddings. I
but
see.
that is not what I'm talking about. I think there's a difference between
I mean,
something
that's
like
not.
Star, let me finish. I think there's a difference between something like Star Wars that has recently been bought by Disney. I think that's different.
Mm,
When I'm talking Disney themed, I'm talking like the Cinderella, the Snow White, the OG Disney movies, not Star Wars. Star Wars isn't as crazy to me. But again,
you
Disney didn't always own Star Wars. So that's probably why it just doesn't feel the same to me.
I don't know. It's okay to have themes. Like I
I'm okay
feel
with themes.
it's
Disney,
okay.
though,
Uh,
I don't know.
no, no, it's that's cool too. Like to have
No,
just
we can agree
the
to disagree
Cinderella.
on that. At the end of the day, like you think it's okay. For
Uh,
me, I'm just like it's a stretch too far. I think
uh,
it's too much.
uh,
I think it's corny as hell.
I agree to
That's what I think.
disagree on that.
And that's
Any
fine. I'm
theme
not
is
changing
fine.
my mind on that. I think it's corny as
Anything
hell.
is fine.
There's a lot of people who agree with me. It is corny as hell.
Uh,
It kind of shows me that like there's maybe something that needs to be addressed. And I'm not even just talking about like it's a mutual thing. I can maybe understand if it's mutual,
mm,
but I'm talking about like especially women who kind of force it upon people and force it upon maybe their partner or force it upon their family to partake in and their friends to partake in this and when it comes to the wedding. That part I'm like, oh,
I mean,
it's cringy. It's
it's their
cringy.
day. It's the person's day.
It's not
Like
just one person's day.
I
It is
know.
two people's day.
I mean, if the other
And if
partner
like he
agree,
doesn't really want to do it, but he's only doing it to make you happy, like I don't know, this feels cringy.
uh, uh,
We can
but
agree to say I'm not changing my mind on that.
most of the time, it's probably the partners do agree with it together. So like, it is what it is. Like I agree with any
I
type of
I'm
theme. It is.
I
I'm the old fashioned, and
like listen, I'm a fan of like
it's a little
Harry
bit
Potter,
boring.
Twilight, but would I have a Twilight themed wedding? Absolutely not.
I seen that actually. That
I have
I've
seen it.
seen
No, I've
something.
seen
I've
it.
seen that.
It's fine.
That's pretty
If that's
cool.
what you want to do, I guess. But like I still think that's cringy. Like I
Uh,
do. Because what are the chances that like your partner, if it's male, they're male, or if you're, in say a heterosexual relationship, gives a shit about Twilight. Because not many men that I've been around give a about Twilight. So
uh,
that to me feels like this is being forced upon them. So like, and again, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm a Harry Potter fan. I'm a Twilight fan. I love these things very much. I would not have that as a theme as a wedding. I just wouldn't.
I like I said,
I'm a ride or die for both,
really
and I just
disagree.
would not.
Really disagree.
I get
I'm
that,
all for all themes.
but
I'm all for all themes.
I no, it's again that is your decision if you so choose to do that.
Hmm. Hmm.
For me, I just think it's cringe,
Okay.
and I'm not
All
changing
right.
my mind.
All right. Okay. So apologize. We went off topic, but yeah. So going back to Del Ford, not right to do that. Should have been more professional and just move on from there.
And it's
We
not the
understand a
first
lot of
time he's done
companies.
stuff like that.
I don't
Kind
know.
of
We
have these
understand.
outbursts.
Yeah. there's a lot of companies in the past that moved from Ontario or from Canada to America.
Like,
You
why are we so
know,
mad now?
yeah. Maybe because that's his favorite. Alcohol. That's his favorite thing to drink, and he's just
Maybe.
like, he just like I said, that the sports out, the sports what you call it, metaphor I just said. Like it's just like, throw away your favorite player's jersey when he's signed to another team and you just like lit a fire on that jersey because you're mad. It's the
So
same thing
pour
that he's
out the
doing here. So
alcohol.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. So
which again,
yeah,
waste. We
yeah,
don't waste alcohol ever.
yeah,
That's blasphemous. Like,
yeah.
anyways.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
All right. Let's go on to the next topic for me. So, California Governor Gavin Newsom said he planned to file a lawsuit against President Donald Trump in
Mhm.
response to the administration's extraordinary deployment of the National Guard to confront immigration protesters who took to the streets in Los Angeles. Now, we didn't really talk about this on the podcast, but if you remember, um, not very long ago, that there was um, eh, false narratives in the media about the issues with immigration within the state, that there was these protests that were happening, quote unquote, but um, people who lived in California who spoke on this, and I'm not mainly talking podcasters here who talked on this at the time, said they're not really quote unquote protests. They're peaceful. And they were kind of portraying that it was not, that it was this big thing. So they, you know, launched the National Guard and made a big fuss about it when it wasn't even all that bad. Like that's, I'm sure there's always going to be a few people who are going to blow shit out of proportion, but like the majority was peaceful.
Mm,
I know Dr. Phil was like involved at one point in this, and I'm like,
mhm,
what the hell is happening?
mm.
As soon as I heard Dr. Phil's name in this, I'm like, okay, like why? Um, let's just say like I'm actually not very impressed with Dr. Phil, and it's
Yeah, I've been impressed the last like what
no.
for a few years now. Like,
I mean, I know people say he's not a real doctor and whatever, whatever. And I get that. I hear you. But
uh-huh.
what I'm more issues with, it's like post his show ending, it's kind of like he's like inserting himself into things that like he doesn't need to insert himself into.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
maybe sometimes just, I don't know, stay in your lane, whatever
Mm,
your lane is at this point.
mm,
Anyways, commandeering a state's National Guard without consulting the governor of that state is illegal and immoral. Hmm. And this was said by Newsom, who is a Democrat. The streets of the sprawling city of 4 million people were mostly quiet the day after crowds blocked off a major freeway and set self-driving cars on fire. Okay. Um, I don't blame you doing that though, anyways.
mhm, mhm,
Um, as law enforcement responded with tear gas, rubber bullets, and flashbang grenades. Um, the protests that happened that day, which was, it says a Sunday, but I'm not sure exactly what day, were centered in several blocks of downtown and a handful of other places. It was the third and most intense day of demonstrations against Trump's immigration crackdown in the region, because I imagine a lot of, especially Latinos, um, in the community in California were being arrested, deported, because we know there's a huge population of Latinos, Latinas, Latinx, um, in California, since they are so close to the border as well.
mhm,
Um, So, as a arrival of under 300 guard troops spurred anger and fear among many residents. Many protesters dispersed as evening fell and police declared an unlawful assembly, a precursor to officers moving in and arresting those who don't leave. Some of those who
Mm,
stayed threw objects at police from behind a makeshift barrier. Others hurled chunks of concrete, rocks, electric scooters, and fireworks at California Highway Patrol officers and the vehicles parked on the closed southbound 101 freeway. Officers ran under an overpass to take cover at one point. The guard was deployed to protect federal buildings. It's just that. Fuck the people,
mm,
just the buildings, including the downtown detention center where protesters concentrated. Los
mm,
Angeles Police Chief Jim McDonnell said officers were overwhelmed by the remaining protesters. He said they included regular agitators who show up at demonstrations to cause trouble. Several dozen people were arrested throughout the weekend. One was detained for throwing a Molotov cocktail, yikes, at police, and another for ramming a motorcycle into a line of officers. Trump responded to McDonnell on Truth Social, I hate life, telling him to arrest protesters in face masks.
huh,
Why? What about face masks? Anyways, here's what he said. And I have to emphasize, bear with me.
right,
Quote,
right.
looking really bad in LA, all in caps. Bring in the troops. All that's all in caps. Three exclamation marks. That's it. Okay.
Interesting.
Idiot. Governor says guard not needed. Newsom called on Trump to rescind the guard deployment in a letter that afternoon, calling it a serious breach of state sovereignty. The governor, who was in Los Angeles meeting with local law enforcement and officials, also told protesters that they were playing into Trump's plans and would face arrest for violence or property destruction. He said, quote, Trump wants chaos because he is
Hmm.
chaos. I said that last part. And he's instigated violence.
Hmm.
Stay peaceful, stay focused. Don't give him the excuse he's looking for.
Hmm.
The deployment appeared to be to be the first time in decades that a state's National Guard was activated without a request from its governor,
Right.
which is a significant escalation against those who have sought to hinder the administration's mass deportation efforts. McDonnell pushed back against claims by the Trump administration that the LAPD had failed to help federal authorities when protests
Mhm.
broke out after a series of immigration raids. He said his department responded as quickly as it could and had not been notified in advance of the raids. Newsom, meanwhile, has repeatedly said that California authorities have the situation under control. He mocked Trump for posting a congratulatory message to the guard on social media, probably Truth Social, what's it called? Whatever. Probably on
Awesome.
that, before troops had even arrived in Los Angeles.
Right.
What? Like, what are we congratulating them for then? Anyways,
I don't know.
he told MSNBC that Trump never floated deploying the guard during a Friday phone call. So the time when the raids were kind of happening, he called Trump a stone cold liar. Well, if the shoe fits, I kind of like this Governor Newsom.
Mm,
The
I'm
I think,
tired of I'm tired of them. I don't I'm
and it
I don't want to
hasn't.
talk.
Think of
I don't
this:
want to talk
we're
about
all tired of
Trump.
him. We're
Yeah,
all
man.
tired of him,
Yeah.
and it hasn't even been a year, and we have 3.5
Yeah.
years
Yeah,
left to go.
I have nothing to say about Trump. Continue though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, the admonishments did not deter the administration. It's a bald-faced lie for Newsom to claim there was no problem in Los Angeles before President Trump. Clashes escalate as National Guard troops arrive. National Guard troops stood shoulder to shoulder that Sunday morning in LA, carrying long guns and riot shields as protesters shouted shame and go home. After some demonstrators closely approached the Guard members, another set of uniformed officers advanced on the group, shooting smoke-filled canisters into the street. Unfortunately, these are things like we've seen so many times. It's different issue, different day. Um, Minutes later, the Los Angeles Police Department fired rounds of crowd control munitions to disperse the protesters who they said were assembled unlawfully, which I don't quite understand that because it is not illegal to protest or to gather. It's as a group. That's not illegal. Um, but anyways, much of the group then moved to block traffic on the 101 freeway until state patrol officers cleared them. Nearby, at least four self-driving Waymo cars were set on fire. This is probably the funniest part, sending large plumes of black smoke into the sky and exploding intermittently. By evening, police had shut down several blocks of downtown Los Angeles. Flashbang grenades echoed out every few seconds into the evening. It probably sounds like a war zone. Like, that's the
Mm,
thing.
mm.
That's sad. Deployment follows days of protests. The arrival of the National Guard followed 2 days of protests, and that began Friday in downtown Los Angeles before spreading Saturday to Paramount, a heavily Latino city south of the city and neighboring Compton. Federal agents arrested immigrants in LA's fashion district, in a Home Depot parking lot, and at several other locations. The next day, they were staging at a Department of Homeland Security office near another Home Depot in Paramount, which drew out protesters who suspected another raid. Federal authorities later said that there was no enforcement activity at that Home Depot.
Mhm.
I'm sure they're lying. Um, so I just want to go through because it's actually longer than I thought it was going to be, this article. In San Francisco, officers arrested dozens of protesters after a group refused to disperse. Officers monitoring one protest declared an unlawful assembly when people in the group became violent. The San Francisco Police Department said many protesters left the scene, but some remained while others moved to another area where they vandalized buildings and a police vehicle. So, again, like, I know that this is maybe hard for Mikel to listen to, but for many, this was a scary time. This was hard.
Yeah.
This was confusing.
I'm just like I said, I'm just tired of Trump.
I get that,
So I
but
understand the
unfortunately, we
people,
can't be tired of Trump because he's not tired of being an asshole.
yeah,
So we can't
yeah,
be tired of to draw attention to the assholeness, that's a word, that he has put on the country.
yeah,
And in turn is affecting our country.
yeah, yeah.
So we
That's-
can't ignore it.
yeah.
We just don't
I'm
have the luxury to do that.
I sorry for the people that's in that situation. I'm sorry for
Yeah,
those
like,
people,
again, these are people
but
who are
I'm
losing
just,
family, are losing
hmm
friends, are losing
hmm
coworkers
hmm
because of what is happening. And he is targeting communities like
yeah,
this in California because he knows that's where most of them are living.
yeah. I just feel sorry for the American people over there. It's just
Yes.
I'm tired.
And yes,
I'm waiting for 2028 so we can get a
but we're not there
hopefully get
yet.
a new
We still have
president.
to get through the rest of this.
I know. Three, almost 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
and
And this is the
I'm just
beginning.
waiting.
This is
Yeah,
just this, it's not
I
even close to over. So
I know,
unfortunately, we're going to be hearing these stories
I
for a
know,
long time to come.
I know. 2028. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that so we can have an actual president that actually talks to Mark Carney, right?
It's not even just about
He's
Mark Carney or Canada. Like, yes, we're a part of the mess that is going on
the terrorist. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah,
with Trump.
yeah.
But the majority right now, the biggest issue that's happening with this administration is literally seeing, like, it's literally like watching Hitler in modern day times. Instead of picking
Um,
on Jewish people, he's picking on Latino people. Like, this is what it's come to.
I mean, I don't like Trump. I feel like that's a little too, that's a little
It's
bit too
not.
far.
I've
Hitler.
heard the comparison before. I
I
think
heard the
if
comparison, but
people,
I even think that's too far.
it's not because
Hitler killed
look at
people, dude.
history. How is it too far?
Hitler
How
killed
is it
people.
too far?
Actually killed people.
Yeah,
Did
but
he?
you think Hitler started off that way? He didn't.
Hmm.
You got to look at the history of what happened with Hitler. Hitler was had his what's the word I'm looking for? His administration, if you want to call it that,
Mhm,
for close to 10 years
mhm,
before he started killing Jewish people. And, well, not just Jewish people, but a majority of Jewish people.
uh-huh.
So you have to look at that.
Mm.
And yeah, maybe Trump isn't necessarily going to kill people, but he hasn't done what he is currently doing now in his second administration is real close to what Hitler was doing without killing them. So, yeah, it is not a stretch to compare the two. Unfortunately,
Mm.
I wish I didn't have like I wish I didn't have to go there,
I know, I
but I
know,
do.
I know. I like I said, I don't like Trump. I don't like Trump at all. Don't get me wrong. I understand how much you don't like him too. But
No, I
I just
don't
feel like
know.
I
Despise
seen that
him,
comparison too. I looked at it like that's a little bit too far. He
but it's
didn't
not.
really kill.
You're only thinking about the horrific side of things.
Yeah, yeah, that
You're
horrific
not
stuff.
thinking of the lead up to those horrific things that happened. And just the fact of, for whatever reason, Hitler, well, I know the reason, but Hitler hated Jewish people. For whatever reason, Trump hates Latino people. We don't have a reason for why. But once upon a
Right.
time, we didn't have the
Okay.
reason for
That's what
Hitler
you're saying.
either. The only reason we
So,
do now is because we know the history. One day, I hope we'll have that answer. I just hope it's not going to be too late.
and a lot of the Latino people voted for him. A lot of them.
I know,
A lot of them.
and I don't get it.
And he said what was going to do is support some of them, and they still
And
voted for him.
I think that's actually, to me, just looking at the stuff before the really bad shit that Hitler does,
Mhm.
I think that's worse because he literally said it to our face what he was going to do. Hitler didn't. No one
You
knew what
think that's
Hitler
worse?
planned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Hitler was
Hitler
worse
hid
than
it.
Trump.
And
Trump confirmed it. He
exactly,
told you in your face
he
what
told
he
you
was
to your
going to do.
face
He
what he was going to do. The
told you he was
problem,
honest.
exactly. But that to me feels worse. Worse in the sense of we know what can happen. We've seen history happen. Why aren't we not learning from history?
And that's where I feel like that part of his supporter group shouldn't have voted, but they voted anyways because a lot of the teams like to follow other.
Everyone
Uh,
has the right to vote, unfortunately.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that sucks because
Yeah.
like you know.
Like his MAGA group, for example, feels a lot like the SS officers for Hitler. These people who just followed everything he had to say. And even if you look at the way they spoke, the way they communicated to their people,
Mhm.
Hitler was a horrible communicator. He was a horrible speech maker. I don't think Trump is too far off. There's so many
Yeah, he is.
similarities
He's
between these two.
he's not a very good speaker.
Who?
Okay, he's not very good at
No, he's
making
not.
great speeches. He's not
No,
that strong.
he's very different in how he relays his speeches in comparison to Hitler. Hitler kind of would swing his
He
arms and
just
spit and all of this. Trump
no
doesn't
well,
do that. But
Trump
like,
repeats himself and then exaggerates
mhm,
situations, and that's the
they're eating the cats and the dogs, you know? Like, this is the
billions,
shit he says and people
billions and
believe.
billions and billions. We do billions. We do good jobs around the world. We do billions and billions and
Yeah.
billions, trillions and I'm like, where are these numbers coming from?
He makes it up. That's why when we saw with the debate with him and Kamala Harris, that they're fact checking him and everything he was saying was bullshit. It was not backed up by fact. It wasn't.
America is in a great place right now. America is in a great place right now.
No,
It's
it's not.
absolutely
And partially because of you
no,
dumbass. Like, it's, but that's exactly it. The difference is we have resources in the 21st century to fact check and to do, and it was being done. And yet people still voted for him. People
uh,
who he wants to up. He wants to ruin their lives.
mhm, mhm.
You know, we talked about like Mario Lopez on the podcast before. We're talking about Golden Girls. I won't understand how he could vote for him. You look like someone he despises. And he is, I'm sure, I just, I'm so mad.
Well, that's
Mario Lopez played a part of a person who got deported by pure chance. But
yeah.
he was deported. Something that happened nearly 30 plus years ago in that episode was 30 plus years ago.
Mm,
Nothing has changed. And
yeah,
partly why is because of the person you voted into office. Did you learn nothing?
yeah.
Now I'm mad.
Okay.
Now I'm mad at Mario
And
Lopez.
that's why I would rather talk about Trump and less about like the tariffs and Canada doing
I'm mad
whatever the
about that
tariffs.
too, though. It's okay
So
to be
yeah,
mad
yeah.
about it.
I want to like I understand, and there's been like a couple of news outlets that said like that confirmed that that Mark is waiting for the U.S. courts to make the decision on how illegal the tariffs are.
He's
And
hoping for a miracle that I don't know if
yeah,
we're gonna get.
well, it's up to the court, and the court has
Yeah.
confirmed that what Trump is doing is illegal, and they had to look into that and review. I don't
Why
know
is it
how
taking
long.
so long?
I don't
This is
know.
something that has been going on
They
since the beginning of the year.
yeah.
And why haven't we gotten a solution on that?
Well, they
We are in
confirmed it.
pumpkin spice season and we
Yeah,
still don't have an answer about
they
this. You know what I
confirmed it.
mean?
Well, they confirmed it's illegal, but they have to do like it.
So what
I
are
think
you
the
gonna do about it?
reviews. Let me see. I saw an article on it. Let me just check. But yeah, just continue because like it was like a couple days ago that I saw. Let me see. So the U.S. Appeals Court finds President Trump global tariffs illegal.
Okay, but again, I'm just like, where were you months ago? Because again, guys, we are in September.
Mhm.
Okay. What why hasn't this not been dealt with? And not just with our country, but with other countries as well, where he's putting 50% tariff and 25% tariff and all of this on different things coming out of the US. Why is it just now that you're realizing that this is illegal? When he's been talking about this shit since February. Why now? And why haven't you done anything about it?
And President Trump responds with all tariffs are still in effect despite the appeal court ruling against them.
Again, I understand how slow the courts move.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
They need to.
my thing is if this is illegal, this
Mhm,
should not even be happening.
mhm.
Why is it happening? Why is it okay for a president to do this shit? It's not even just about Trump, it could be anybody. Why is it okay for a president to do this shit? Get away with it for months and wait for it to go through the judicial system. It should never even get to that point. You should literally be having people being like, hey, president, maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe because we can't do that. Where is it? Where, like, did George Washington and everybody else, the founding fathers, not think about this shit? Like, I don't understand. No, of course not, because who would think about this? You know what I mean? Who's actually going to think, yeah, the president's going to raise the tariffs on goods coming out of the States? Like, it should not even be at this point, is what I'm trying to say. We shouldn't even be
Mm,
getting to this point if it's illegal.
mm, mm.
Just like if someone goes ahead and, like, you know, kill somebody, yeah, we know it's illegal, but then what are you going to do? You're going to arrest them. You're going to make sure they stop and they're not going to hurt anybody else. Like,
Hmm.
again, a president who was criminally found guilty on 40 whatever counts it was and still became the president of the United States. I
Yeah.
just won't understand. Anyways, I'm
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the last topic, which is also depressing to a sense, but hey, here we go. It's a little
Hmm.
different.
Hmm.
So, a paralegal who stole more than 11,500 pounds. So, this is in good old England or somewhere around there. From two vulnerable clients has been sentenced to 20 months imprisonment after admitting fraud. Doesn't seem like a lot. Anyways, Emma Charlotte Amy, who is 45, of Poole, Dorset,
Hmm.
admitted two counts of fraud by abuse of position at Poole Magistrates Court earlier this year and was sentenced at, oh, okay, hold on. Bear with me. Bournemouth. The names in the UK. Crown Court earlier this month. Amy was working as a paralegal at the Wills and Probate Department at a law firm in Poole. As part of her work, she managed accounts for clients where the firm held power of attorney and would pay expenses or bills on their behalf using a checkbook or debit card. An investigation into Amy began after the bank returned a potentially fraudulent check to the firm. The firm found the corresponding check stub was made out to a care company, but the check for £3,400 was addressed to Amy. Dumb. I don't know why people do this. You're going to be caught. There's plenty of different true crime type uh, episodes or whatever about
Hmm.
this exact thing, and they always get caught. Like I don't get it. Anyways, when Amy was confronted, she admitted to taking money. After the checks had been signed by another person at the firm, she used an erasable pen to change the payee's name to her own. She also admitted to using debit cards belonging to the victims to withdraw cash for herself and for online transactions. Between October 2021 and October 2023, so 2 years, Amy stole 11,568 pounds from two victims who were living in residential homes. Detective Constable Lucy Hale of Dorset, not the actress, of Dorset Police's Economic Crime Unit said, quote, Emma Amy was entrusted with looking after the day-to-day finances of vulnerable, and she abused her position for personal gain, making deliberate attempts to avoid detention. We are committed to investigating reports such as this to ensure that fraudsters are held to account for their offending. This type of crime has the potential to impact the public's confidence in the
Hmm.
power of attorney scheme, and I am pleased that we were able to restore some trust and make sure that the defendant was brought to justice.
Hmm.
Boom, goes the gavel. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been telling stories of lawyers, for example, here in good old Canada, where they're doing stupidness like this. It happens in the good old motherland as well. So,
Yeah. Happens
anyways,
everywhere.
it does.
Um. Okay.
But yeah, that's it
Um.
for me.
Yeah. So this ends this episode 135 for the Next Tape podcast. The Next Tape podcast is available on all podcast platforms. We also have a website called Tanyka.
Uh, nextdaypodcast.podpage.io.
And where else we at?
Facebook and Instagram at Next Take Podcast, and Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Next Take Pod.
And you can contact us on our email at mikeltanika@gmail.com. That is mikeltanika@gmail.com. So we talked about a bunch of stuff on this episode.
Hmm.
Do you like to just like review what we talked about?
Yeah, let me pull up the
I know we
pull it up here. So,
talked about. Go ahead.
oh, okay. Um, we talked about people avoiding Toronto because of
Hmm.
congestion. We
Hmm.
talked about the California governor planning to file a lawsuit against Trump
Hmm.
for the shit
Hmm.
that happened in California.
Hmm.
And we talked about a paralegal who was jailed for stealing from
Yeah.
vulnerable
Yeah.
victims.
Yeah. And yeah, just to add a little bit, we talked about like, Disney adults a little bit, just kind of a little bit off topic during which conversation
We
that
ended
we
up
did.
talking about Disney adults.
adults, and then we talked about like, oh yeah,
Themes,
we talked about like Doug Ford pouring the Crown Royal during a
wasting
press
alcohol.
yeah, but during a press conference because Crown Royal is move their operations to the United States and leaving Ontario slash Canada for good. And I don't think they're coming back anytime
Definitely not
soon.
now.
Yeah,
Thanks, Doug
because
Ford.
the CEO's looking at that like that's why we're
He wasted
leaving.
alcohol. Our
That's why
alcohol.
we're leaving. Look at that. Look at that, everybody. Look at this. Look at. I can imagine the CEO just let's show all the like the workers right there. That's
Mm.
why we're leaving Canada.
I mean,
Because
here's the
it's
thing too. Like, I
yeah,
don't think I've bought Crown Royal.
yeah.
I don't.
Hmm.
I may have. I just don't remember. Because I don't drink it. I might have gotten it from my grandpa.
Hmm.
But did someone buy that bottle of Crown Royal just to pour it at the press conference?
Oh, they're probably saying thank you for supporting us.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm about to get at. And not only that, like, I don't think Doug Ford took that money out of, I mean, Crown Royale is not that expensive,
Yeah.
depending on what size you're getting. But like, I don't think it came out of his pocket.
Mm,
Y'all, taxpayers, it potentially
pocket.
could have come out of your pocket.
Mhm,
And he
mhm.
just poured that on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be pissed.
Thank you for the promo. That's our
Right.
promo. Thank you for the promo. That's
Even
our commercial. That's our commercial. Leaving Canada. That's our final commercial.
even the
There you
crown
go.
likes Crown Royale. Like, it's gonna
They
be
did.
seriously, they're gonna use
Yeah.
this.
They can move.
Y'all, I
Yeah,
just
they
gave
can.
her your new news not news ad campaign. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just want 10%. That's it.
Yeah. All they gotta do with that commercial, they're gonna make it. They can do a priority or what do you call those type of like spoof commercials and
Yeah.
just say like this is why we're leaving Ontario, and then put the
We
Crown
waste
Royal
the
logo
alcohol.
at the corner.
You just see
Yeah,
Doug Ford pouring it on the ground.
yeah,
It's just stupid.
yeah. But
We're not like this, I
yeah,
swear.
yeah. But yeah, it is what it is.
Rob Ford is up there rolling in his grave. Seriously, even he's like, really? You're wasting the alcohol? What's wrong with you? We don't do this. We don't waste the alcohol. We drink it.
Yeah, it is what it
Anyways,
is. Okay. Yeah. That's it for me. Anything else you want to say, Tanika, or just that's
um,
it?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think this episode comes out on the 15th. So yeah, we're getting closer to
Mm-hmm.
Halloween
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
series. I'm excited about it. I'm not gonna spoil what the topics are yet, but they're fun and I'm excited.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Anyways,
Cool. All right. All right. I'm Mikal, and
and I'm Tanika.
we're out until.
I think we'll be out until Wednesday. I think our bonus episode is coming on Wednesday, so we'll say that.
All right. See you then. Peace.
Bye.